5 years old, I have to start wearing glasses. So the stereotype begins, right? When you think of a gamer, you basically think greasy hair, pasty skin, glasses. And you throw some braces into the mix, well then you've got the perfect combination. The gamer stereotype. That was me. I literally grew up with the gamer stereotype. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm not like super obsessed with video games. Not like some of the other people I hung out with in school and whatnot. But it just stuck with me. Now I will say, growing up, I was into the PlayStations, the basic, like, standard systems that all the kids would typically have, but I was never obsessed with it. I don't even know what World of Warcraft is. I've never played it. I don't really know much about these strategy games. People have brought this up to me about, like, oh, this is the most popular strategy game, or this is the most popular online game, and I would have no clue what it was all about. And there were people that I grew up with, kids who were just into games way more than I was. And the funny thing is, they never looked like gamers. They were like normal looking people. So it was the most bizarre thing. But I have rarely ever played games since my teenage years. And there are exceptions at parties. You know, you have like the classic Nintendo that somebody might hook up and you'll play it. You know, I've got like an old PlayStation sitting around that I never usually play. So, it's never really been a thing for me, but I will say, I have always been into, wait for it, Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto. And the reason why I liked Grand Theft Auto is Grand Theft Auto put me into this world, right? Put me into this world, this massive world where I could escape. But once I got to the end of the game, I was done, and I was like not into it. But you know, there's like those certain things, right? Again, it's like teenage type years, and you're just into the basic, most popular games, if that. But I shook that whole gamer thing off. By the time I reached my adult years, it just completely dropped off. Have not been into it. Grand Theft Auto is probably the last thing I was ever actually into, and games are so addicting, so I'm glad I'm not really into it. But I will say, I still have this look, and every now and then I get people mentioning, hey, you must be a gamer, or you must be into video games. And I would tell them, like, I'm not. And, you know, growing up, I was always envious of athletes, right? I always looked at athletes and thought, I want to be an athlete. I want to be that person. I want to be super strong and fast. And I never had any envy towards gaming. It was always something I didn't want to do. I never looked at the fellow nerds in my classroom. I never looked at them and said, I want to be that person. I want to be that person. Like, it wasn't for me. But I can appreciate the craft, right? It's like anything. It's this hobby that you want to get into. You want to excel at. And the pursuit of accomplishing something in a game is special. I do appreciate people having a hobby into this kind of stuff, and it's a great way to unwind as well. You know, at the end of the day, do you really want to be, I don't know, worrying about work or other stresses of the world? No, you want to escape, so you go and you play video games, and it is a nice escape. I get it. You know, it's just not for me. It's one of those things I somehow was able to shake off, and like I was able to distance myself and say, that's not something I want to do for the rest of my life, and I pushed it away. It's interesting. But yeah, I have this look, and I can't get rid of it. It's the look that says, he's a gamer. And like, I never clicked with any of those groups growing up. I was never one of those kids. I never said, ooh, I'm gonna be a gamer, or I'm really into this. Oh, hey, were you on that level? And did you check out that? Like, it's never like that much of an obsession. I think the most obsessed I ever was with games was like, there's this game called Runescape in high school, and everyone was playing it. And yeah, I got into it for a little bit of a phase. And I noticed how addicting it was. Some people would be putting in, 16 hours a day. Now, luckily, I didn't go that extreme because, I was busy with school, so I didn't really have the ability to commit to it, but I did notice it could be a time suck. It's one of these online games. But that was like the only online game I was ever into. Never really got into anything else like that. I'm finding nowadays, though, that the athlete-looking people are the gamer people. And then the gamer people are like more of these professional type people. It's kind of interesting. Or not even that, like the nerdy looking people are actually the very determined athlete type people now. Like if you look at ultra marathon runners and stuff, they look like some of the nerdiest people you've ever met, right? You're thinking, that person definitely does not look like a runner or an athlete. And then it turns out, like, they're completely obsessed. They're like one of these mechanical engineers at work, and then outside of work, they're like super ultra runner extraordinaire. It's interesting how their brains work, and I've seen it countless times, all these engineers showing up, and they're athletes. They've constructed or built something in their own life that mimics what they do with their day-to-day work. And it might be to do with just the sheer amount of like data and the cognitive approach that they look at things in life. And a lot of that, I can kind of resonate with that, in that I look like one of those people. And then my brain kind of functions like that. Like I can sit and analyze a bunch of different things and really get down into the weeds. And then, next thing you know, I'm charting out a process or something for my life that would make me more athletic or something. And then, looking at that, I see that potential in me, perhaps. So I find it very interesting how people are bucketed into these certain categories and stereotypes. And yeah, I've always looked like a gamer since like literally the age of 3. I mean, it can't go unnoticed when you're wearing like these thick glasses and you've got that vibe with you, right? So, But the funny thing is, I never really play. It's a rare occasion. You know, I'd be lucky to be playing a video game maybe once every 6 months to a year at some sort of party or house engagement. But it's not something I do. And yet here I am. The guy that looks like he would. It's really interesting. Okay, I think that's it. That's it for now. I'm done here.